This is gonna be a bit of a new take to these top 10. At least this specific video here. A different take at the top of the reactions. I'm stuttering too much. Basically, it's WatchMojo's top 10 2018 reboot fails. Basically, they're talking about the fails of the ReBoot the Guardian Code, which I have seen bits and pieces, and I actually have seen episode 10, mainly because that's where the old cast, ReBoot cast, like Bob, Dot, Enzo, Hexadecimal comes in, mainframe and everything. That's when it appears. And oh boy, I'm pretty sure they'll mention that here. But wow, this isn't a reboot. I don't see how this can be a reboot. At first, I thought it was a reimagining, if you will. But then they bring in the original cast with the original voice actors as well. Now, I know they could not get Tony J to do the voice of Megabyte because Tony J, sadly, is no longer with us. But the guy they got to do voice Megabyte, he does a very good impression, yet it's different enough to, to sort of, well, to quote what Megabyte said in his episode 10 here, he's a Megabyte for a new millennium. So, and for the voice part, I can sort of understand that. If you don't want to make it just sound almost like Tony J, but not exactly to try to make its own thing. I can respect that, especially after he got Megabyte got digitally enhanced. Which I have some things to say about that, which I'm pretty sure they will hear. So let's just watch this. Let's break down each top one here. Cause Jesus, the things they do here, it makes me question. Did they? What were they thinking? Were they really think that fans of the original would appreciate this at all, or were they just hoping to cash in on this on just nostalgia? And it's a rhetorical question, people. So you guys know the answer to that.
You have to reboot.
I don't think we can do that. I'll give it
Okay, this I kind of... The part where they couldn't reboot here, I can sort of understand that because, you know, old and new technology... yeah, the game is too old. They were incompatible, basically.
This is bad. This is very bad. Welcome to WatchMojo.com and...
Megabyte's new form. I'll talk about that later.
Counting down our picks for the top 10 biggest fails from ReBoot the Guardian Code. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be focusing on all the ways this new 2018 Netflix series fails to be alphanumeric, the beloved and groundbreaking CGI original that ran from 1994 to 2001.
And you thought I couldn't handle things without what's-his-file name.
What's his file name? Oh, Hexadecimal.
Revival has been highly demanded and hinted at since the 2001 cliffhanger ending.
What we wanted is a continuation of that. Read my lips. Continuation. We wanted to see what happens next. What's Megabyte gonna do? That was what we meant when we said we want a revival. We don't want a reboot. We don't want a remake or reimagining or live or an adaptation. We want you to continue the story. That's what we've been demanding. Sorry.
No one could have ever anticipated that it would return as a live-action hybrid superhero team drama. Hopefully, if the series continues, it will address and move beyond these glaring problems.
Yeah, okay, you know, because, okay, I will say this. The setup here and everything, it's cool. You're basically combining Power Rangers, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, and Code Lyoko. And when I hear that, it's like, that can be cool. That can be cool. It can be its own thing. It can just have inspiration from all its other stuff. But you put ReBoot on big fonts in the...
You're okay.
Of course, I was gonna let some giant bugs after take me out.
Number 10, uninspired premise.
Oh, yeah, well, Tron, yeah. Yeah, the premise is old, it's uninspired, but you know what? It could still work. I mean, let's look back here. Let's look back here. Before this show, what was another show, whether live action, comic book, live action, or animated, whether it can be from TV show or movie, where it had this premise of going into the digital realm? How long ago? What was the last show? What was the last whatever that did that? And now ask, how long has it been since then and now?
Positioned as a reboot of ReBoot, the new show could have tried to satisfy
That was awesome.
while finding a new audience.
That was so cool.
Unfortunately, the premise has almost nothing to do with the source material
Yeah.
or core concept. Rather, it heavily borrows from the likes of Tron, Code Lyoko, VR Troopers,
VR Troopers, yes! VR Troopers, yeah.
rather than taking place in the computer city of Mainframe, where inhabitants must defend themselves from such things as viruses and deadly games, it instead follows 4 teenagers that discover a hidden control room beneath their school. There, they are recruited by an AI to enter and defend cyberspace, guarding it from a hacker that has begun targeting real-world locations.
Right. Because if we told people that we found a secret room hidden behind a hologram wall where we can go into the internet in special suits made of code and fight cyber locusts, they'd totally believe us.
Number 9.
Okay, why does it have to be these guys as well? I mean, this is a real life human hacker here. He's not some sort of super virus like Megabyte or no, but actually Megabyte wasn't a super virus. Or anything. That Damon was a super virus. Gigabyte was a super virus. But here's some like he's just a regular human who's good on a computer. Why can't the government be like actual professionals who deal with this kind of stuff, like take part in it? Why does it have to go with this process? Yeah, that's something here that I don't think they expected us to think about, but this is supposed to be like more or less meant for the generation like me that grew up with ReBoot here, so we're gonna think of that. Even as a kid, looking at the original ReBoot, I didn't have to think about that because there were programs here, and the fact that the game's coming down here, and if the user wins, the area is nullified and everything. The user would have no way of knowing that. No, the sprites and binomes have no way to inform the user, hey, stop doing that, you're hurting us, you're damaging your computer. They had no way. I mean, they're just...
Mixing in live action.
Is this about Bob?
Who's Bob? What's Bob? I'm the one who brought you back. I call the shots.
The original series
Yeah. Thing is, it could work.
was groundbreaking as the
Let's watch
first
this.
completely CGI series predating
And it's-
Pixar's Toy Story, and it drew its
And it still holds up!
from its concept of representing the life inside of a computer. Shockingly, despite CGI animation being relatively cheap and easy to produce these days, the revival puts out most of its focus and runtime on its real-world setting.
Which, why?
They call me Vera. I'm the virtual.
Oh, God! Why do they have to go with this route? I understand this route, like the supposedly AI assistant somehow gets to the human body and can't go back to...
Revolutionary recombinant.
Okay!
She's an exchange student.
While the
Thank
show
you.
executed in a less offensive and
Okay.
organic
They're trying to play this one up for comedy. No!
way,
This force.
everything they include as live action ranges from uninteresting to offensively cheesy.
Definitely, it was incredible.
Honestly, I can see that in mainframe, but no!
Hello, Austin.
No!
Hello, Parker.
Number 8, poorly.
Okay. I will say, it could work. The live action, it could have worked if it was used to a less degree. Because it's like a revelation where a user can come down to the cyberspace and see everything, see what it's like here. That'd be awesome. And we know Bob in continuity. Bob has always been fascinated with the user. Like, why does the user do all this? Why does he drop games? I mean, in a flashback, like, we see how Bob ended up on mainframe. He says, like, he handed some sort of, like, a thesis to Turbo about the psychology of users, and Turbo actually thought, and I quote, it was radical. I don't think like radical, like something like tubular or something like that. It's like, I think he actually thought that it's a radical idea, like radical concept, like just incredible, like wow. But yeah, and oh my god, yeah, poorly animated. The thing is, on the animation here, it could work, but then I got to episode 10. It's like, holy shit, what have you done? What have you done to Bob?
Animated.
How can this be a downgrade?
Potential for this franchise to return refreshed and enhanced.
I can deal with this. Yes.
It suffers from not only being primarily focused on the real world, but by having animation that is incredibly basic and cheap looking. The original was a vibrant animated show that was colorful, imaginative, highly stylized, and felt lived in.
Yeah.
The new series feels incredibly barren and blandly animated, while somehow appearing in
That's weird, Effective Decimal.
especially in its later seasons. Even worse, it makes very little use of facial animation. And when they speak, it jarringly cuts to extreme close-ups on the actors' faces with added heads-up displays.
And how are we gonna do that?
Not like knocking on the front door is an option.
Number 7.
Okay. The close-up of the face is clearly meant to inspire. It clearly drew inspiration like Iron Man with how when we see what Tony Stark is his expression underneath the helmet in live-action movies, we get close up his face. We see all the like heads-up displays and everything. Which okay, and honestly, I don't have a problem with just them in helmets, everything like that. I kind of like it. But the animation, yeah. And again, once they got to episode 10 and we saw like, what this engine is like done to the characters, it's like, how can you look worse than you did back in the 90s and early 2000s? How? Bob actually looks like like he needs to eat more. Like he's got like almost to the point of anemic thin or something like that. Like he's starving almost. Oh god. Only hexadecimal looks good. I'm gonna get to that later. But yeah. Oh boy.
7
Moving on.
stereotyped, one-dimensional characters.
Change can be good, right? Or maybe today we'll rank way up there on the lame-o meter.
With the
Really? Lame-o?
based on the live action,
Who?
the show
Okay, I'm sorry. Who in the world still says lame-o? I don't think I've heard that since Rocket Powered on Nickelodeon. Oh my. Ay. Ay, esto me está doliendo mucho, no puedo creer. ¿Qué pensaban estos? Yo no sé, no puedo comprender cómo funcionan estos viejos que no saben de nada lo que nos gusta. Sorry. Let's move on.
had to get it right. Instead, every character is bland and one-dimensional. Everyone is an underdeveloped walking cliche, as the cast includes the mandatory jock, the awkward nerd, the social media addict, the cool kid, and the fish out of water to play at the laughs.
Yeah, which is stupid.
Your list again.
The parents range from the tech-phobic mum to the over
Tech-phobic mom?
However, the main offender is the antagonist, a hacker who calls himself the Sorcerer. He is so stereotypical it's laughable, from living in a warehouse surrounded by computers to being a loner, sporting a hoodie, and having absolutely disgusting hygiene.
Okay, yeah, that guy gives bad names to hoodie users everywhere. And I'm pretty sure I remember one guy's review who says that, yeah, this guy is the dad to one of the characters.
Including chapped lips and blackened fingernails.
Oh,
Humanity has no idea what's coming.
Number 6, keyboard mashing and monologuing.
Plague. Hungry cyber locusts. They will consume everything in their path.
It's never a
Cyber
good idea
Locust.
for characters spending all their
Cyber
time on
Locust.
screens and
That's
realizing
it.
every thought
They had creative...
is a
Okay, there was a bug virus, like a mantis in ReBoot, okay? When we're first introduced to Enzo as Matrix, after a little time displaced from the hobby from game to game, and we see him for the first time after that season finale. He's all buff, mostly got a cybernetic eye. Let's see, was it? I think it was this one, and Andrea and everything, and yeah, he takes out a virus as a bug, so that's one thing. But even we saw like a cyber locust a little earlier on. If that's an example, then please, can we have more of the bug we saw in that episode of the original ReBoot? We had such creative viruses for crying out loud. Why are you doing this?
Focusing heavily on screens filled with nothing but code is incredibly tedious and unengaging. But having characters do that while walking us through their every thought and motivation is a complete...
That's a code from Megabyte, as I checked.
It's open again. Finally.
What?
I finished what I started and shut down electrical power.
The hacker spends pretty much all of his screen time talking to his computer, either alone or to a computer character that isn't there. He rambles, fixates, and doesn't say or do much that is actually interesting or organic. This is unfortunately something you will see a lot, from the authorities to the main heroes.
The authorities. So there actually is authorities in here trying to find this guy, and they suck. Seriously. I will say that this is the guy. There's another guy who that was the sorcerer is the guy who digitally enhanced Megabyte. So and revived them somehow.
The 5, lack of signature games, pop culture references, or humor.
Yeah. First episode, by the way. That's the first episode.
ReBoot's main staple was having its heroes contend with GameCubes. Dropping on mainframe, the heroes would enter the games to defeat the avatar of the user, or they would get nullified.
Yeah.
Allowed the series to work in its fun concepts and scenarios, and make countless pop culture references. These range from
yes!
Star Trek, Mortal Kombat, and
Mortal-
even Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Under the games, it similarly spoofed everything from the X-Files to the Blues Brothers.
The Blues Brothers, really?
References weren't
Stargate.
really fun, but
Yeah.
a central part of the show's DNA, and without any of it,
Gavin?
for a haphazard Minecraft reference, it's all
Which Megabyte infects. Megabyte infects and uses a castle.
Number 4,
Which Megabyte infects makes a castle, but yeah, it's like, I can sort of understand in a way. Did things change? Because if they showed that things have changed, like because cyberspace has evolved, it's the same thing as they said when they weren't in the GameCube and they got stuck in the game and the characters couldn't use their powers, couldn't reboot or anything like that because the game was old and it was simply completely incompatible with their much newer programming. Code, something like that. So, alright. That just means that the way how games interact with computers and the software have evolved to the point where they no longer damage the software. They no longer damage the system. Okay, episodes 11 and 20 can touch on that, I appreciate it. Like, show, because I want to see at least, like, how Bob, he goes out, checks out what the cyberspace is like today, and it's like, nothing is as he remembers. Or something like that. There's 20 episodes, they only released 10.
What the?
ReBoot had one of the
Oh,
most
God.
recognizable
Yes.
themes ever. From its exciting
Dun,
opening
dun,
score
dun,
to the
dun, dun.
stylish use of electric guitar,
Yeah.
the show's audio
Dun, dun,
complemented the action, musical pop
dun,
culture
dun,
references,
dun.
and emotional cues.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes.
You'll find none of that in The Guardian.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
From a lack of a full opening theme, it hits
What?
only one major beat, which is a sense of slow-burning cyber drama throughout its runtime.
Oh, this scene right here. I've seen this scene online. I've seen the YouTube video. This is cool right here.
It's planned enough.
At least finish it. Come on, play that music with that scene was awesome.
Enough to feel like daytime television.
Which I'm surprised I said that, by the way. That was awesome, but it was awesome.
Like
When Megabyte opened his eyes,
only
wow.
occasionally dropping a random pop song to remind viewers it's cool. Even worse, once those end credits land, you're hit with full-on pop music that is wildly out of place.
What?
Number 3 appeals to no one.
Mom has called a family game night. It will be beers first.
Ugh.
Speaking of the jarring nature of the soundtrack, absolutely nothing in the show works together to appeal to any set demographic.
Yeah.
Kids will find the show too boring and bland to watch, tweens will find the parts aimed at them pretentious, and adults will balk at the teen cast, high school setting, and flat-out bad dialogue and acting.
Because of you, the team hasn't lost a game all season, so that's pretty good progress.
Regardless of which group you're
Ooh,
representing,
Megabyte.
you will not find the story or how it is told compelling, and the ugly-looking animation makes this feel like a budget production from the early
Whoa.
2000s at best, not 2018. Number 2 functions as a pseudo-sequel.
Yeah, okay, this is a scene.
Looks like a diner.
And
Under my protection.
Bob! What the hell? Who did the shadowing here? It's like, oh my. Can we revert back to the old engine? Please? Get like whenever we have Bob or mate and like the mainframe, can we have the old engine and just keep the guys? But yeah, pseudo sequel. When exact? There is no pseudo sequel. This splits off at like before even the show begins.
If this show was a self-contained revival, it could avoid some of its identity crisis.
Yes,
but it's
quickly
not.
Makes
the original baddie Megabyte one of its central villains.
Yes!
Having recast the late great Tony J.
Which
Impressive.
yeah, again, I think the voice, I don't mind the voice. I mean, you will never be able to capture some of the greats, okay? Never 100%. If you believe that, you are in a deluded fantasy. It's just not gonna happen. That being said, the fact that this guy is digitally enhanced, like I said before, excuses, in a bit, in how he sounds a little different. Similar, but different enough to justify the fact that he's new and improved. I say improved loosely. Let me just say this. Okay. Actually, another YouTuber got it right. His new form here, it screams power. It's clearly more. I mean, it's like from the neck down. Actually, I like his new form. It really screams power. I do miss his insignia, of course, like on his chest. But this new form, it screams power. But the one thing he's lacking is menace. Like the thread and everything. Like just that's where the face comes in, and it hit me quite quickly. What the problem was, the eyes. the eyes. The eyes literally have it for Megabyte. In fact, let's go back here. Right here.
But it quickly makes the original baddie Megabyte one of its central villains.
Look how the eyes are so prominent in that scene. It's just when we see, when he first awakens and everything, his eyes open, they are so prominent. Here, his eyebrows are taken. Oh boy. Why couldn't they have taken the design that they had with Trojan Horse Megabyte and work with that to model this new form more in line with that? And oh my god.
Tony J.
Impressive.
Yeah, and again, that... Why did you make it so his crest goes all the way to make his eyebrow? Why? Why? Just why? I want to know. I'm serious. Why? Why the...
Now to corrupt and conquer.
Again, this... Yeah, like his eyes are literally overtaken by his eyebrows. His eyes should like literally be center focus. Honestly, if you remove like right up here, the lower half of his face, I can see it feels like original Megabyte here. Like if I just forget about that, look at his jaw, I can sort of see the original Megabyte here, but yay.
It likewise revisits mainframe, forcing cameos by Bob, Dot, Enzo.
Oh god, what the hell? Oh god, Enzo! What happened to you?
Decimal, several of which are portrayed by their original voice talents.
And here's another problem I have here. Okay, Hexadecimal looks great. Why isn't her mask is moving? This is sounding so geeky, I know. So, like, really? That's your problem? No. Yes! Yes, because it's supposed to please the ReBoot fan in me. It's like, it's not pleasing me. I mean, it's I can't even call it a nitpick. It's something any geek would call upon. Even I've seen YouTubers about this call this on, but Hexadecimal's mask doesn't move. Whenever it's a change of expression, it happens literally in a snap. If it's not like that happens, like she shakes her hand, or the camera cuts to another angle to signify a change, her mask instantly changes. It's not like it morphs. Like she goes from a smile and morphs to a frown. No, it goes smile and frown. That's it. Like that. Like in a snap. Here, it literally moves. I sound like a total geek when I say this, but again, this is a good thing actually. How the engine makes her look. It really makes her glossy, and it makes her mask like sparkle a lot, which I respect that. It makes sense. So Hexadecimal, this new engine is doing Hexadecimal good, and her voice actress. Original voice actress, it is Hexadecimal. Especially that laugh she gave at the end of episode 10. It's like, she almost saves the show just by that laugh.
At this time, it's establishing itself as a continuation of sorts, though
No.
completely omitting events of later seasons, like Hexadecimal's heroic sacrifice.
Yeah.
Worst of all, it showcases the real-world computer that houses mainframe and disparages everything about it in its virtual city as retro and lame.
Wow, it's like ancient technology 1.0 retro.
Number one.
To be fair, that's kind of what it would be like if today, after everything they've seen in cyberspace, which I haven't seen what they've seen, it would look like that. It's retro, but my problem is mainframe, the computer itself. It's a literal mainframe computer bank. I always pictured mainframe to essentially be, well, an old old school desktop brick PC. Like, yeah, like those old, IBM, like the IBM monitor and everything, and the big No, it looks like something that was used way back for like school or those government facilities, like way. And yeah, this doesn't take place at any point. Hexadecimal sacrifice doesn't even. I mean, where was the binomes? Where was Fong? Just the fact that Enzo is still like this is clearly before his birthday ever happened, and yeah, this is a spin-off. This is what a reimagining / spin-off. It takes place in ReBoot before even the first episode.
One disrespect.
Oh boy, yes, I know this. Episode 10.
So close.
This scene, this guy, his entire just raises so many questions. It's ridiculously hilarious and just sad.
Just one more level.
Somehow, the creators thought it would be a good idea to directly make fun of a passionate and loyal fanbase. It portrays a stereotypical ReBoot fan as a middle-aged loser who lives with his parents in the basement, who vocalizes having waited 20 years for ReBoot to return. It is mind-bogglingly awful and nonsensical on every level,
Yeah.
which includes filling the basement with merchandise from the original's run.
How?
Such as t-shirts, a statue of the character
Mike the TV,
and character posters. It's
and action figures and stuff. Oh my, this is big. Oh god. Forget the fanboy in me. The common sense logic is hurting here. It doesn't make any sense. In any way.
It's just done in such a cringeworthy way
Yeah.
that will upset fans at best and confuse new viewers at worst.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not too late for the show to make major course corrections.
I'm finally gonna win. And Mom said all this time in the basement was wasted.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch.
Okay. I pretty much stated in the beginning that I have been waiting for a continuation. One of those guys, but that is like the biggest fuck you to the fans I've ever seen. And it just completely messes it up. I mean, so ReBoot, this show actually really did happen in this universe. Even though Bob and retcon, just retcon everything, write all this out, or just again throw this in the garbage can and just go back to the CG. How hard is it? Nickelodeon did the entire Turtles, 4 seasons of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles using nothing but CGI. And go back to the original engine. I'm sorry, but that engine is too iconic. That look is too iconic. I mean, I just saw Enzo there, which surprisingly, I don't know how, but WatchMojo, you are impressive. You somehow made it so Enzo, the work on Enzo's CGI here looks worse than the video of episode 10 that I saw. You highlighted just how bad this new engine looks to make all the characters. And now, on to Mega. I want to talk about Megabyte here. But to do that, I want to first find that clip of Megabyte coming back. Okay, reboot the Guardian Code Megabyte. Alright, here it is. This is it. This is the code I want to see. Putting it back on. Look at it. This music actually helped in this scene. This scene is actually pretty fucking awesome. And it's, look at it. Look, okay, Megabyte, and what happens? Look at that, with his eyes. Oh my god, the eyes truly have it. And I take it away. Yeah, he becomes digitally enhanced and becomes like Megabyte 2.0.
It seems I have been digitally enhanced.
Which, skip to this scene here.
Now to corrupt and conquer.
Okay, I like the mouth and his smile, but his eyes are literally over. No, yeah. Yes, this is a problem. Netflix, scrap this. That's all I can say. Just scrap this and go back. Do it right. Listen to what the fans want. A continuation. Or if you're gonna make a literal, like, if you're gonna reboot, then reboot it properly. Reboot it, then reboot. Don't mix in all this stuff. Now, granted, again, I think the whole thing about the concept of the user, like, being made aware of all this is interesting. Because I'm sure, like me, and I'm sure a lot of people, when they saw this, when they saw Reboot, they thought, like, oh, I'm not going to play any games on my computer, man, because if I win, I could be damaging my systems. A lot of people, I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought that as a kid. I thought that as a kid. It's like, yeah. And it, but the concept of also, this concept here, of mainframe, the computer it's on, being introduced to the modern age, the new millennium, is a cool concept. Like, I'd like to see, for example, in this show, I'm interested to see Bob return to his the supercomputer. And is it even there? Has it had to change? Is Turbo still alive? But this show, literally, I don't know, on Netflix, I had faith in these guys. I love what they've been doing with the How to Train Your Dragon series. The new Lego, let's see, Legends of Elvendale. I gotta watch the third episode still. So far, like, the animation they got there, they're doing good. And especially, like, with some of the shows they're doing, I'm watching the MCU, of course, MCU stuff. I think that's good, but just how can you fail in this one? Just how? 20 years later, there's still a bunch of fans for Reboot here. And, you know, if you guys want to make an your own original, like, show with using this concept, you should have just called it you should have just made it that way. Make your own original show, but don't slap Reboot in the title, and don't. I'm sorry, people. I'm really, really hurting here, and I think I've gone on long enough. The point is, this show just sucks. This show just sucks. I've only watched one episode. One. I've seen all the reviews online. Scrap it. I'm sorry, but I gotta say, just scrap it. Go back to the drawing board. Something. That's enough. I'm sorry. Everyone, thank you all for watching. Comment down below what you all thought. Like and subscribe for more videos. Until the next one, this is Mecha-san. You know what? WatchMojo has a top 10 Digimon, so I'll check that out.